The biggest scam in America isn't some shady pyramid scheme where you sell knives to your family and your cousins and then you convince them to sell knives to your extended family. Not throwing any shade, but I think we all know what I'm talking about. And it's not even that guy on Craigslist that's selling slightly used iPhones for full price. Those kind of scams don't even come close. It's the fact that every time that you use cash to cover any expense, you're losing money. So here's the truth. Every store you've ever been to, and if they take credit card or debit card, you know they have little terminals. Sometimes it's by Square or by a bank or something, but they process the transaction on little terminals. You know, when they flip it over and they're like, it's gonna ask you a few quick questions and you gotta tip a minimum of 30%. Those things already charge the business about 3% on average for whatever transaction they do. So every business has already kind of unspokenly raised their prices to adjust for that 3%. But it's only people that use credit cards that actually see a little bit of that percentage back. So in other words, if you're using cash or a debit card and you're getting nothing back, it's kind of like you're tipping the credit card users for using it. And you are just taking on the burden. Everyone pays that raised price, the regular price that every business puts on their products or their services, whether it's a restaurant or an auto shop or a supermarket. Their prices are adjusted for that 3%. So today in this video, I'm going to show you how to flip that scam on its head without changing a thing other than how you spend your money. And the goal is to hit, and I believe everyone can save $100 or more with just these 5 free credit cards. So you're not getting anything else out of your pocket. And if you have 1 or 2 more, you're already almost there. So we're going to go through it real quick without wasting anyone's time. Here we go. So in order to see how we're going to be able to get that extra $100 a month using these credit cards, I needed to go to the man, the myth, the legend, the boomer himself, Dave Ramsey. And according to RamseySolutions.com, the average American household spends about $6,400 per month, and a lot of that is rent, gas, you have groceries, you eating out, and other little black holes that suck away your cash like it's in the witness protection program. But if you match that spending right to each card and these 5 cards we're going to talk about, you could pocket an extra $1,200 to $1,400 per year without lifting a finger, without needing to go crazy out of your way. I mean, you do need to, put effort into your spendings, but you're not doing anything crazy other than you're just continuing your regular routine, but using these specific cards for their specific category. And trust me, $1,400 at Christmas time is like $1 million. You won't believe it. I'm sure we all have crazy expenditures there. But on to card 1. Hey everyone, Jason from the future here. As I was going through the footage, I thought this would be a good point to come in and make an emphasis that we're going to be going over credit cards. So I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. It's just something that's been working out for me, and I wanted to share with you guys, sharing ideas. That's all. And since we're talking about credit cards, I wanted to make a big point that never, ever, ever, add as many evers as you want. Carry over a balance on a credit card. You don't want to accumulate interest, because then all the benefits that we're going to talk about in this video, you kind of annul them, because if you're accumulating interest, you're losing. You're losing in the whole credit card system. So never carry over your balance, and always have the cash to pay for anything that you pay with your credit card and pay it off right away. Like as soon as you spend it and as soon as you can pay it, go for it. We'll get back to the video now. Sorry to interject, but yep. So right off the bat, we got to go with the big dog, housing. So according to Ramsey Solutions, the average amount that people spend on rent each month is about $2,120, which to me that sounds crazy expensive. But if you're paying that with a check or a bank transfer, you are getting back a grand total of $0. You're getting nothing. You're just giving away your money, and that's it. You're never seeing anything back. But if you were to use the Built MasterCard by Wells Fargo, but not anymore, I guess, I don't know, they're having some legal issues, but you can get 1% back on that. So 1% back from $2,120 comes out to about $21 a month that you were already throwing out the door. And over the course of a year, that'll be like $250 kind of. So that would literally be your Netflix and your HBO subscription, or it can literally be the times that you go to Costco, you black out, and then you got a 50-pound bag of rice at home. It can cover those costs. You can't just lose that money. You can cover it actually. And now number 2, speaking of your Costco runs, that next up on the list is groceries. And the average American household spends there about $832 each month. And this is just your supermarket runs, not your DoorDash addiction. But with the American Express Blue Cash, every day you get 3% back at US supermarkets. So that comes out to about $25 a month that you're saving, which is what, like another $300 a year? That's 2 Costco 50-pound bags of rice. Like literally, Can you understand the gravity of the situation here? Now, if you enjoy doing anything that's fun whatsoever, you're gonna like this card because according to Ramsey Solutions, Americans spend about $300 a month on dining out and about another $300 a month on entertainment like your concerts, your movie tickets, your overpriced bowling, whatever it is that you like to do. We spend about $300 a month on it. So here, the third card, the Capital One Saver One, gives you 3% back on dining and entertainment. So if we add those up, it's about $600 a month, 3% back, you're getting about $18 a year. So then at the end of the year, that's about what, $216 that you get back. So every time you eat out. So think about it this way. If you were to smartly use your Capital One Saver One card instead of just using cash, it's kind of like at the end of the year, that card is going to pay a nice steak dinner for you and your loved ones. Well, I mean, it depends where you live. Where I live, a nice steak dinner might be like $80. But if you're in California, you got to tell me about that. I don't know what the prices are there. But on to the next. And the next one is gas. And no, I don't mean Taco Bell, but the average American spends about $550 a month on gas every time they go pump fuel into their car. And considering that almost every American has a car, this is a huge one. And if you were to get our fourth card, the CT Custom Cash, which gives you 5% back on your top spending category, which in this case, we're going to say gas because just about everyone spends a crazy amount of money on gas. Well, then there you will literally get 5% back, which is going to be like $27.50 a month or about $330 a year. So if you drive all the time and you spend about this much on gas, you can basically get free therapy for your gas station rage. Now, so far, all the cards that I've mentioned have been very specific to your spending category, and you need to be very intentional when you spend using these cards. But the fifth card on our list is going to make it very easy for us. I think we got the bulk of our expenses down. Now it's time for everything else. And the fifth card is a CT Double Cash Everyday card. This is the Gotta Catch 'em All Pokemon card. It'll give you 2% back on everything. Now, that Ramsey Solutions graphic data about the average spending has some costs in there like healthcare and insurance. And those things a lot of the times are taken out of paychecks by employers if you have a high deductible healthcare plan or anything. So it's hard to, or I guess you can't even pay that with the credit card. So we're not counting every dollar in that list because it's just not realistic. But by the ones we can, I'm coming out to about $778 per month in miscellaneous spending that you can get 2% back on using the CT Double Cash every day. And that would come out to about $15.50 per month or another $186 per year. So that's really good. It'll cover all your random impulse buys and buying things you shouldn't be whenever you want that extra little candy at the grocery store or whatever. It'll cover it kinda at the end of the year. So here's our grand totals and our reality check to how you can actually use this in your daily life. So the grand totals at rent with the Built MasterCard, we get about $21 back a month. Groceries with Blue Cash every day, we get about $25 a month. Dining and entertainment with the Saver One, we're seeing about $18 back per month. Gas with the Custom Cash, we get $27.50 back a month. And everything else with CT Double Cash, you get about $15.50 per month. So if we add those all up, we get about $107.31 per month. And that's just using these conservative averages. In real life, I know that a lot of us, we eat out more than we should. And then that includes more meals that we're buying and more gas that we're using. So you could easily hit $120 to $140 a month without even trying. If you became really, really intentional, I'm sure you could get even over $150 a month using this. And not to mention that if you open any one of these cards up, they usually have some incentives. Like if you were to spend $400 or $500 in the first 3 months, you get $200 back. They have stuff like that, incentives to get the card. So we can easily hit these big numbers. Like we're going to be getting these rookie numbers out the door, and we're straight veterans in our first year if you're intentional. So the point is that cash isn't king. Whoever made up that saying really needs to get with the program and see that cash is just getting inflated over and over again, especially with how much money has been printed in the last 5-6 years. Like honestly, gold is probably even better than cash now. Unironically, like you can actually, or even Bitcoin, I don't know. That's besides the point. But if you, this was not financial advice. None of this was. It's just something that I am doing and I'm seeing results. I wanted to share with you guys what it is. So let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments. And now if you'll excuse me, I'm going to take my extra $107 a month and spend it very irresponsibly, probably on my Wi-Fi bill. So see y'all later. Jesus loves you guys. Bye-bye.